So one of the tools we're going to look at when we talk about classroom communication is an app and a website called remind.com, and you can see that right here. So we're going to take just a couple minutes and introduce it, and then we'll continue the second part of this video with the tutorial itself. So Remind, approximately 75% of school districts in the US use Remind or have used Remind. You're looking at about 2 billion messages being sent. Now, when we look at how this application is primarily used, it is primarily used on mobile devices, so smartphones in particular. That's one advantage to the Remind app is yes, you can use it on a computer and a tablet, etc. But what's really nice about it is because it is available on your phone, students can text message you without having your actual phone number, and you can post messages and have students get it right away as long as they have notifications on their phone for the program. And also, if something pops in your head while you're out doing something, you can get it done because it's on your phone. So really the four main options or four main benefits. The custom messages, as I said, they're in real time. You can have them in class or outside of class. It allows for a more personalized faculty-student interaction. So you will get students who will be more likely to send you a message on Remind as opposed to asking you in class. Or maybe it's in the evening and there's something due tomorrow and they had a quick question about something. Instead of sending an email that may or may not get read until the next day, this is more likely to get a response because it's simply on phone to phone. Maintains privacy. Students don't have to know, like I mentioned, about other students' questions. And one thing that's nice is I will show you how in Remind you can set your office hours so that you can limit when you are available to get those messages from students. And now lastly, we want to, as you mentioned here, we can talk about, as I said, announcements and chat between you and your students. And lastly, what we're going to do now is we're going to go to remind.com and we are going to go ahead and sign up for that. So here you can see the website. I'm simply going to log in. Here you would go to sign up instead of log in if you don't already have an account. And now you'll see I am inside of my platform. And it's very easy for you to go ahead and create a class. So you just go here to the left side of the page and select create a class. Give it a name. So I will call ours EDCI 232B, for instance. And I'm going to go in here. Now you can do this on your own, or you can allow for Remind to generate a class name for you. I'm affiliated with Ashland. I will only message to people 13 or older. Now, if you're teaching elementary or you have students in your class that are below the age of 13 or at the age of 13, they need parental permission to do this. So make sure if you do have younger children in your classroom, you click on the OK box, the check mark, and go ahead and hit create. Now you'll notice here's your course. If you want to go ahead and add people, you simply go up here and add people. You can see there's different ways of doing that. Student name, you can add parents, you can add teachers, other teachers or administrators. It's really pretty nice. Another way you can do that is, again, students, parents. It'll give you kind of a breakdown of who they are. Now, when you go to people, we want to add people. So on the left-hand side, you'll notice besides this information, we have phone, email, contacts, also a printable PDF. So you can download this and put it onto the website or whatever it is, or send this to the students. That'll give them directions. If you want to do this in class, you can notice students can text the class code to this number on their cell phone, on their smartphone. So it's really pretty nice. You can get that done, for instance, the first day of school. And you can make sure all of your students are now registered on your Remind page so they can get their notifications. And then lastly, you can share a link right here. And this is what you will be doing on your blog, is you'll be creating and inserting a hyperlink to a Remind page for your class. So it's important that you remember and learn how to do this part right here. So now that we have figured out how to get everybody added into our class, what we want to do is go ahead and post a message. So I'm in EDCI 232B, and I'm going to go to the messages option, and down here I will send a message to everybody. Now we'll automatically come up with a default message as kind of a welcome to the class. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to leave that there because you get the idea. I can always add more, but you'll notice you have a certain number of characters which you're allowed to, which you're given. So make sure you don't go over that limit. Again, if you look over here on the right, you can see different options to add to your message: photo, video, file, an item or document from your Google Drive, Classroom, Quizlet, OneDrive, SurveyMonkey. Maybe you want to pop in a survey question, for instance, and you can see the other options as we go down here. So I'm going to go ahead and I will. First thing I want to show you is if you want to look at scheduling. So for instance, maybe you want to set something up for midterm exams and final exams, and you want to do it at the beginning of the year. You go into schedule, and you can select the date and the time at which your messages will be scheduled to be sent. Or if you want to do it just live, you just go ahead and hit the send button, and now you're good to go. Now notice what's really nice in Remind is it keeps track, gives you a message history. So it gives you all of the things that you've posted, so they're there for verification. It's really pretty cool to do. So this is how you use Remind in terms of communicating with students. Again, it depends if you want to affiliate. I'll go ahead and affiliate with Ashland University. And then one last thing I wanted to show you before we go was looking at your options and settings over here on the left-hand side. So go ahead and go to Account Settings. And you'll notice you have a profile, name, password, all that good stuff, right? Notification preferences. Now this is very, very important. This is going to be how you want it set up. So maybe if you want to get notifications on your desktop, go ahead and do that right here. If you want to add your phone number to be able to do voice calls and things of that nature, you can as well. And there's a mobile app available for iPhone and Android. So if you want to have it right on your phone, you can do that. It's really nice. The students, as I mentioned, they'll be able to text you back and forth, but it will be through the Remind app. So they won't actually have your phone number and you won't have their phone number, which is pretty cool. And then down here, you will notice you can turn on or off office hours. So if you don't want to be contacted, for instance, let's say you're available after school from 7 a.m., let's say before school, and then we close up shop at 5 p.m. You don't want to get any more messages after 5 p.m. Put that in there. And now what days? So only check the days that you're available. So I don't want anybody contacting me on Friday. So I'll say that. Let's just say, for instance, and let's take off Tuesday. Why not? So now only 3 days a week you're available. Or you can just simply close it all down and only be available 1 day per week. That's up to you, but it's a really nice way to put up barriers so that your students can't get a hold of you all the time, and you're not in a position where you've seen a message but you don't really want to answer it either. And make sure when you do this, you let your students know when you are and when you are not available so they aren't frustrated waiting for a reply that never comes. So this has been the Remind tutorial. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you find this to be a valuable tool in the classroom.